asks, can the war in Ukraine be categorized as a proxy war facilitated by the United States, which started during the Obama administration?
It's been claimed by credible commentators. I've myself hesitated from drawing that conclusion, but it's pretty hard to avoid. I mean, we can speculate about it, but it's harder and harder to avoid when you look at the clear facts. Almost all of them suppressed, incidentally. We're not allowed to talk about it. I mean, we can find out. It's not secret. You want to read William Burns's memoirs, you can read them. But you want to read the White House webpage, yeah, you can read it. But it's mostly kept from the population. I should say I've been around a long time. One of my qualifications, maybe I'll put it on my CV someday, is that I'm probably the only living person who condemned the Munich agreements in print as soon as they were signed. Okay, so some experience. I have never seen censorship and repression like today. I mean, even just the blocking of Russian voices, which is insane. Why shouldn't we know what the Russians are saying? Why do I have to go to Al Jazeera to find out what the Russian Prime Minister is saying? That's the kind of thing we ought to know. If they have a proposal for ending a blockade that's killing millions of people, why shouldn't I know about it? Well, the censorship is so extreme that you can't. Almost nobody knows unless they go to something like marginal libertarian website, which happens to be telling the truth. It's crazy. And not only that, if you bring it up, just talk about it, you're immediately vilified, a Putin supporter, a commie rat, you want appeasement, you want to sell out, and so on. It's pretty astonishing. I tried to find some statesman in the United States and Britain, the two warrior states, who was actually talking some sense on the need to try to seek negotiations instead of undermining them. I found two. Jeremy Corbyn in England, who was driven out of the Labour Party, like Keir Starmer, for daring to say something sensible. In the United States, I found one, Donald Trump. I happened to mention this in a talk that elicited a storm of fury from the internet left. How can you dare tell the truth about Donald Trump? Total monster, of course. But he happened to be right. Okay, should we keep it secret? I mean, have we reached that level of totalitarianism, internal totalitarianism, that we just can't talk about facts because they're the wrong kind of facts? Well, apparently we have. And it doesn't help anyone. Certainly doesn't help Ukrainians. Following the Afghan model, fighting Russia to the last Afghan, doesn't help Ukrainians, doesn't help the rest of the world.